sausage boy. Ecos Cameron out. They were literally in the same team.
What's this for?
The commentary, mate.
Oh, did you want me to do it?
Yeah, mate, if you don't mind.
Yeah, hang on, I'll jump on.
Anyway, the stream has started, so I'll do the introduction. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FRL for round 13 here at the Land of the Rising Sun. We are here in Suzuka today, and I'm joined by Carbine Con.
Hello. First time.
Yeah, it's my first time too, so hopefully it'll be an interesting one for both of us. I know we're already know a few drivers here, so I can already determine their pace, but it'd be interesting to see what the other drivers can do as well here in Suzuka. So it's Q1, full qualifying, 18 minutes for the first qualifying session. So the top 15 go through, one of them gets knocked out, which is, well, there's only 16 here, so one of them will get knocked out. Enjoy being Connor on the sidelines ready for the rest of qualifying. Then Q2, the top 10 go through, bottom 5 get knocked out to 11th to 15th, and that will determine what tyres people will start on. And Q3, the top 10 shootout, ready for pole position for the race ahead of us. So we're just waiting for a few drivers to come out of the track now, and yeah, we'll see what happens in the upcoming minutes then.
Yeah, we got any updates on the weather at all?
I'm not quite sure, mate. I think they run dynamic weather. Hopefully somebody in the stream will tell me in the chat, but we've got some cars coming out now around this 5.8 kilometer circuit, 3.6 miles around here. The predicted strategy should be soft to medium or soft to hard, depending what lap people will decide to put on, or how early or how late they will decide to put. Safety cars could also play a factor as well in this race. And we've got the Alpine now out on the track, which is William Gaming, so we'll go on board with him then. Oh, he's already spun and he's lost his end plate. He just hit the barrier coming out of the second Degner, so that's already one driver. Oh, luckily he's ghosted there. That's one driver already getting caught out by this track. It is very, very difficult, and especially with cold tyres coming out of the pit lane on the second Degner as well, catching that curb. So looks like he'll have to come back in the pit lane, and that'll put him out of sync for what he wants to do then for the rest of qualifying. He'll have to come back in the pit lane. I don't think tyre wear is much of an issue around here, and it's only Q1, so he can start the lap on those same set of softs because they've barely done any mileage around here, so there shouldn't be that bad. Just keeps out of the way for other drivers then. So who else is out there? We've got the AlphaTauri out there. I think that's Luna Ascari. No, that's the other AlphaTauri. Where is he? It's Ecos Cameron, the Canadian driver then, coming around the final two corners, and we're about to start a lap with him then. So let's see how he does then as he makes his way on the main straight. DRS wide open. I think this is the only DRS zone. Am I right, Connor?
Yeah.
Yep, the only DRS zone. I can't see them putting a DRS anywhere else other than that second straight, but that is a 130 horse, so they really can't open it there. But Cameron went a bit wide into turn 1 and turn 2, lost a bit of time coming through the S's now, clips the curbs, carries the speed, stays in 5th gear, but be really careful here, gently nurse the throttle and the steering, very easy to lose momentum. We've got a Haas ahead of us as we enter Dunlop now, which is Marcel. Hopefully he gets out of the way. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No.
Oh!
It's bit mean.
Yeah, Haas needs...
I can't even. I'll be really looking forward to Q3 watching the guys go through the S's. When you're through, the pressure's on you trying to mount the pole, and it's very easy to slip up. Yeah, for sure you can attack the curbs a little bit in the S's, but you don't want to ride them as such. Very, very easy to lose your car anywhere on the curbs or on the circuit.
And especially on this game as well. This game with curbs is very, very tricky. You want to avoid them all the time. Camera goes wide, and that's the validation.
Well, I wouldn't have thought of extending the track. That would be quicker. It looks like those curbs on the exit of Spoon, they're a bit chunky, if you know what I mean. I'd have thought it would have dissipated a lot of the speed. But no, just got to go around again.
Right, who else is? There's a Williams coming around the final 2 corners, and that's his Cameron Dow's teammate. That is, who is it? I'm gonna find him now. It's an Alpine. It's Shifters. He goes to first place. It's a 28.9. I couldn't really tell with the blue colours of Williams and Alpine there. It is a Williams. It's Shifters. 28.9 on the board. Sadistic King in second place. A whole 2 seconds off. A Big Balls has gone up into second place with a 29.5, 6 off. Scenario in P3 ahead of Sadistic King there as Wild Dog crosses the line with a 31.7, followed by the Williams as Cameron Downs goes quickest by a huge margin, by 4/10, so that's very good for Cameron Downs early in the stage of qualifying, getting the confidence there, getting a good banker. 25.8 for Smalley in second place. Hopefully I'm pronouncing these drivers' names right. If I'm not, just correct me. Robbie up into 5th place, 30.2 there in the McLaren, so good lap time from him. Who else we got across the line? We've got yellow flags.
And the Red Bull's coming up next.
Red Bulls coming around the final 2 corners then out of their home Grand Prix. Sadly they couldn't run this year. It was at the Turkish Grand Prix they ran in this livery, as AIDS comes across the line up into 6th place with a 30.8, instantly replaced by Luna Ascari up into 6th place, 30.3, just a 10 shy of Robbie's time in 8th place there. Jay Hartnell coming across the line with a 32.1, not really a representative lap time I would have thought. Robin has invalidated it, coming through the second Degner then, and Marcel in the Haas then is next to cross the line, but I don't think he's on a representative run. Judging, oh yeah, he is actually, just ignore me for a bit, thinking of a different middle sector. So 14.2 in the middle sector for Marcel then as he makes his way towards the final 2 corners. Then you want to use a lot of curbing, but he doesn't do. But he does for this one. Get a good exit, short shift on exit as well to get good traction. DRS is now enabled, and let's see where this puts him in the timing sheets. It's up into P10, 4/10's clear of Wild Dog in P11. So that's the early stages of Q1. Robin has invalidated it. Like I said earlier on, Ecos Cameron's on another outlap on a brand new set of tyres. I think he's on, yeah, he's on a brand new set of tyres. So he's used up a second set of his tyres, or what you get in qualifying. I think you get about, well, in long qualifying, you get more tyres obviously being in longer qualifying.
It's 3 sets of softs as standard and just 1 set of mediums. So if you get to Q3, you get an additional set of softs. So he's been rear-ended by Marcel in that Haas. No, that definitely wasn't Cameron's fault. That Haas needs, I think he needs his L plates back on, to be honest.
William Gaiman has lost traction coming out the hairpin, and he's careered into the barriers. He's lost his rear wheel. He was losing traction coming out the second Degner, and yeah, it's cost him all the way up to the hairpin, and he crashed out. So that's one of the drivers that's definitely going out of Q1 then. He'll be joining us, just watching them through Q2 and Q3. So Cameron had a 5-place grid penalty. As you said, the Haas hit the back of him, so that's a big shame.
Oh, he's slowing down. The Haas is behind him.
I really hope there's no...
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm watching the other Haas.
It is going to be unfortunate. I hope for Cameron's sake that he has the pace to get into the top 10, because even if he qualifies 11th, I'm pretty sure that he will be the one being knocked out of Q1. And unfortunately, it really wasn't his fault.
Not quite sure what's going on in this early part of Q1 there. We saw Cameron Downs also, not Cameron Downs, Ecos Cameron also getting compromised by another driver. I'm not sure if it was the same driver or Hash driver actually. Robin coming around the final corner now. Let's see what lap time he sets. Hasn't set a lap time, neither is his teammate. And he's up into P11 with a 30.9 then. So just outside the top 10, but definitely needs improvement to ensure his safety. Well, there's only one driver getting knocked out of Q1 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. His teammate Sausage Joe is on an outlap. Where's Ecos Cameron? He's on a lap now. He's just behind him. Hopefully that Mercedes gets out of the way as we approach the first deck. They carry a lot of speed through here, just lift off slightly. Braking for the second one, use a lot of curb on the exit, which he does do, and the Mercedes driver gets nicely out of the way. Then straight line of braking, it's the hip, rotate the car. Short shifted to minimise wheel spin on exit. There we go then. Nice exit there from Ecos Cameron. You want to minimise the distance, just keep as tight a line as you possibly can without touching the grass there. Then
riding the line, isn't he?
Yep, flick it in. You want to avoid this curb here because it will throw you out wide.
Yeah, that's fine. It's coming together. I would say, even though we went purple in the first sector, it definitely wasn't the quickest I think I've seen someone go through there. The back end was stepping out, but I don't know if he's been riled up by that Haas, because his back end was waving about. He was chucking it in very aggressively, and he was very aggressive on the throttle. But if you're setting purple sectors, it's clearly working in some ways. He's about to come across the line. P2.
Just behind.
A millisecond off. Look at that.
Close competition there between the two Camerons. First and second both wasn't Ecos, but Cameron's moved to Shazoo, so good for him. They both were called Cameron or Ecos Cameron, which would have confused the hell out of me.
Oh, it definitely confused me before.
So 9 minutes left to go in this qualifying session then.
I'm riding Butter with Sausage Joe, currently P15. Not got a time on the board, but he is on a flying lap now, coming through the first sector. Very steady, to be honest.
I'm going to go on board with him now then. His first sector is going to end off as a 33.3. As big. Oh, he's gone wide there.
They're still valid.
I'm not quite sure how. He had all four wheels off the track. He roused it at the hip and then looks good. Going to get it. Yep, good exit there from Sausage Joe. Then no wheel spin, as I could see from his perspective. Then as he makes his way down this long stretch, coming up to the next turn 13, then up to turn 14 we go. Doesn't touch the curb of the entry. Want to use all of the curb of the exit, and that car gets nice out of the way, which is Ecos Cameron. His middle sector, what's it going to be? It's going to be a 30.7 then. 130R. 130R flat out corner, coming through these final two corners. Use a lot of curb on the entry for both corners.
Oh, that's a risky amount of curb on the exit of the chicane. Doesn't choose to stay close to the wall, but P9 nonetheless.
A decent
FRL
time
as well. With William Gaming retired, not actually getting a time in, everyone might as well call it a day with Q1 because it's not really going to change anything.
Nope, it isn't. William Gaming, Jay Hartnell's retired, so I think we might as well end the qualifying session here in Q1. But obviously, want to keep it going just to like.
Ooh.
Call Q1 a practice session because that's what it really is. Like for the top drivers, I call it a practice session.
I mean, I guess the only thing we can really look for, you know, it's a bit more quali time and it allows the track to get rubbered in a little bit more. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're not going to get people disqualified in the final 8 or so minutes, 7 minutes.
Or people like spinning and crashing out, because that could be also a risk as well. Here comes Sadistic Kid, then he's under a massive improvement.
Because remember, if you do wreck your car in full quali, that's it. It's game over. You'll start. You might be getting into Q2, but you're not going to start any higher than 15th. So everyone needs to look after your cars.
Yep, exactly. Can't afford to take too many risks in Q1. If you got the pace like Cameron and Smalley and people like that, then there's no need to be taking risks other than Q3 when you have to absolutely go for it. And we've got on board with Marcel then, the Hash driver, ending off the final sector with a 14.1, is a 10th up. Oh, he lifts off, so that's going to lose a bit of time there. He's not confident taking it flat out through 130R these days in these cars. Coming around the final two corners then, let's see how he takes it nicely as well, gets a good exit. And where would this lap time put it then? It'll be P14 still, but a slight improvement from him. Sausage Joe next across the line. I think he's going to start another lap or come back in the pits. Yep, he is going to come back in the pits then. So who else is out there? Scenario's done 3 laps on these set of tyres. Smalley's back out there, so here he is. So he's already evaluated his lap time. He's safe, so he doesn't really need to take too many risks, does Smalley. and Shifters has also gone back out there on an old set of soft compound tyres, because if you the top guys like these, there's no need to be putting on a brand new set of softs. You want to be saving them for Q2 and Q3. Where are the other drivers? Marcel, I think he should be coming back in the pits with the lack of fuel. Smalley, he invalidated it, might go for it again. Cameron Dowles is in the pit lane just watching on, so all we can go on board with then is Shifters and see what lap time he could put in on these one lap old softs. So this will be his second lap time on this exact same tyres as he did, set his fastest lap on. Robin's out there on an hour lap, keeping on him, see if he does improve and get himself in the top 10. This is good time for drivers to practice then in Q1 as the track starts to rubber in now. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go on the clock as we arrive at turn 1. Take it flat out. Well, they're breaking into turn 2. Short shifted on the exit. He stays at 5th gear, surprising to go to 4th to the extra rotation. Most difficult part of the track, the S section. Difficult for controller players to keep the momentum. You have to really nurse the throttle and brake it here. You have to be precise on the steering as well, because you can lose your momentum if you get it absolutely wrong. And doesn't carry the speed through. He backs out of Dunlop actually. So I don't think he was happy with that lap time, but he's safe anyway nonetheless. I'm keeping an eye on Robin then down in P30. Ooh, he almost lost it through the S section there. You see him sliding as he made his way into turn 4. Yeah, you got to be careful because he is in Q2, and if he crashes that Mercedes car, he gets on the curb and he spins and he's facing the wrong way. Could have been a lot worse. He was carrying much more speed there, but hopefully he gets back on the track safely. Might as well come back in the pit lane now, not go out there again until Q2. Scenarios out there doing multiple lap times on those soft compound tyres. Ecos Shifters has invalidated it, so I wonder what he's going to do if he's going to come back in the pit lane. So we're just really waiting for Q2 because we already know who's knocked out of Q1, which is William Gaming, who did not set a lap time. I don't know if Jay Hartnell retired in the pit lane or not, but if he did, then he should make it into Q2.
Yeah, there's no stricken Haas on the minimap. He has, well, one of them's definitely retired in the pits. I can see one of them coming out.
And crossing the line to start another lap time is Eco Shifters there, making his way through turn 1. Goes a bit deep, still managed to get to a good X-well. The rotation of that car really works well for him there. He gets on the curb though, loses a bit of momentum. These curbs can throw you off the track if you don't be careful. As we come through Dunlop then, slight lift off there. Is he going to go in the barriers?
Ooh, very, very lucky. Not a rare tyre's gone off that Williams. Seems to be okay. Let's hope if he has any sort of floor diffuser or wing damage, that will be fixed in time for Q2. I think, yeah, definitely time for Shifters to calm it down, just bring the car home. He knows he's going to get into Q2 by now, so why bother taking the risk on the way back to the pits?
Yeah, just bring it nice and safely back in the pit lane. There's no need to take risk out there. Those set of tyres are done anyway, so Ecos Cameron Dowd has retired from the session. We're just waiting for other drivers to do so. So Sausage Joe is out there on another lap time. It started to rain in Q1. That's very interesting. Will it rain in Q2 and Q3, I wonder?
Well, if it's dynamic weather? Could be. But surely, like, if we might even be seeing the inter tyres come out for Q2. Which at least then that could, if it is a dry race, free choice of tyre for the start.
Exactly. Everybody will start on a brand new set of tyres, whether it's the softs or mediums, depending on what they want to go for. But Sausage Joe did improve in the first sector, so he's finding a bit of time, but now it's started to rain. All that grip just going off the track there. Will it affect Sausage Joe's time? I wonder. Coming through the middle sector now, it's a half a second improvement, so good for him. Hopefully he doesn't slide off the track or lose grip or temperature in those tyres. Coming around the final 2 corners now. Very crucial to get this one right. And he does. Makes his way across the line and he goes up into P6, so nice improvement there from Sausage Joe. 29.8, and he's definitely safely through. So 55 seconds left to go. Who else is out there? Marcel and Robin. Robin, Marcel is slightly down in the middle sector, but looks like he's just backed off now, judging by the way he's driving. And Robin might not make it across the line with 40 seconds left to go. If he is, going to absolutely boot it now, but I don't think he will. Nope, he's done for, I think so. Scenario, what's he doing? He's in P7. Yeah, he's done 6 laps on those tyres, so he's just going for long rules. Telling me that he's still got more pace to show if it's still dry in Q2 and Q3. If he's done 6 laps on those tyres, and hopefully these two don't collide, which they don't do. So if you had quite a lot of fuel in the car, and 30.1, you should see him in the 29s easily then, as also if it's going to be wet. Mercedes out there causing the yellow flag, hopefully he hasn't spun or something like that. We're just waiting for Q2 now to start, then we can see what happens if it's going to be wet or dry. So weather forecast then, it's raining for Q2 and Q3, and thankfully it'll be dry for the race. I'd rather have the race to be dry, because it's very difficult to overtake in the wet. And Cameron Dowd, or Ecos Cameron, the Canadian Cameron, has a 5-place grid penalty, so the highest he could start is 6th place. As Connor mentioned earlier in the session, 1 millisecond separates the top 2. This could be very interesting between those two, but yeah, it's sadly Cameron's got a 5-place grid penalty due to a Haas being in the way. Hello Cameron's dad, how are you, mate? Your son's looking good in P1, mate, but let's see if he can keep it going in these wet conditions. It can be very difficult to navigate your car through, even if it's a dry race as well, but you have a dry setup on the car. So dry setup, wet surface. I wonder how these drivers are going to cope with it. Here we are then. The rain started to come in. The surface is slippery, so these drivers are going to be very careful now. Q2 then, the top 10 drivers will make it through. The bottom 5 will be out. It doesn't really matter what tyres they start on. Well, because it's wet conditions, so they can either start on the mediums or softs if they want to. And obviously, if it's raining in Q2 and Q3, it doesn't really matter, because they'll have loads of soft tyres left and mediums anyway. So
yeah, I'm more or less thinking of the risk they're going to have to take in these conditions now. Assuming if they would have known it was a dry race, maybe some of them on a dry setup, but now it's a wet track. I think some people are going to be out of position.
Exactly. Right then, so the first man out on the track, I think it's Wild Dog in P11 there. Let me go have a look. Yeah, he is. So Wild Dog then, the Dutchman in P11. Let's see how he handles these conditions. Followed by the Williams of Ecos Shifters. Then his teammate. Both Williams are looking very strong indeed, with Ecos Shifters and Cameron Dowds in the Williams pairing. Very strong lineup indeed between those two. Ecos Cameron in the AlphaTauri. His teammate Luna Ascari was looking quite handy in Q1, so hopefully the both AlphaTauris might see both AlphaTauris versus both Williams. Go back on board with Wild Dog there, because he's about to start his flying lap time. I wonder how much wet practice these drivers have been doing. Coming around the final corner now is Wild Dog. Gets back on the power, as you can see, not fully on the throttle, because he wants to minimise that wheel spin. Let's see how he takes turn 1 then. Coming through here, lift off, brake as well. Usually the drive turn 1s can carry the speed without braking. It's turn 2 that you have to start braking for. We've got coming into the S section, that goes a bit deep, compromises next entry. So using 4th gear there, as you can see, playing with the throttle. See how much throttle he can take through these corners without lighting the rear tyres up as we come through Dunlop. Gets back on the throttle now, no problems through there, through Dunlop. As his first sector now is going to be a 37.7. First 2 Degners then. See how he takes it. Not too bad from Wild Dog there, keeps it nice and tidy. No obvious mistakes there for Wild Dog. His first lap of course, so there's definitely improvements he can find on his experimental lap time. Takes you through first gear through there to get the extra rotation. Back up the gears we go. Shouldn't have any problems through here, should be fully flat out through here, these inter conditions. Coming through Spoon then, let's see where it takes it. Will it be difficult for him? Gets on the curb. Goes out wide of the second part of Spoon though, so could compromise him down this stretch. As we reach the crossover of Japan, it's an only 8-figure circuit around on this calendar. I think he should lift off for, yes he does lift off there. As now braking at the 100-meter board. Coming to the final corner now, let's see what Wild Dog can set as he makes his way now towards the line. A tidy lap time, but there's plenty of improvements to be found there from Wild Dog as Shifters goes a whole 2 seconds quicker than Wild Dog, instantly replaced by his teammate who goes 7/10 quicker up into P1 then. So 38.0 is the time that everybody has to beat. Where is the other Cameron? Down in P14. He's coming through the hairpin now. You can see him using no traction, but the rear started to slide just a little bit. As Big Balls goes up into 3rd place there with a 39.5, 8/10 off Shifters in P2. Ecos Cameron then coming to the second part of Spoon. You can see him wobbling just a bit there. The exit, Sausage Joe goes up into P3. Only 3/10 off Ecos Shifters there, so good lap time from Sausage Joe. Cameron coming through the 130R corner, which he takes it flat out, so confidence through there as he double locks the brakes, but it won't matter because he will slow down for the corner anyway. Remember, these drivers can do more than 1 lap on these inters. Cameron comes across the line and it's a 38.2, so 2/10 just away from Cameron Dowds in P1.
So I don't think anyone has actually reached the full potential in these conditions yet. I highly doubt most of them would have practiced for the inter conditions, but yeah, it's a bit of track acclimatization almost, and I think Cameron Dowd's definitely setting a very healthy benchmark, but yeah, I can definitely say for every driver there is time to be gained even from this.
Exactly, because you see a lot of drivers on their first laps just experimenting with the throttle, how late they can brake, how early they can get on the throttle as well, especially the drivers who use no traction. They're going to be very careful.
Yeah, they also don't need this sort of pressure of maybe Q1 it would have been a little bit less pressurised, but you know, these are the mistakes that can cost them getting into Q3 for qualifying.
Cameron's dad commenting saying, "Hi Jamie, yeah, I never liked the wet because of unpredictability." Hash drive across the line, he's got up into P11 but quite far away from Cameron Dowds. Smalley comes across the line now and he puts himself inside that top 10 with a 40.1. Notice how all the drivers go for a second lap time and they're improving as well. Cameron, Ecos Cameron, he's backed out of his lap time. Whereas Big Balls a few hundreds down in that first sector. Luna Ascari a 1/10 quicker in the first sector. Coming to the hairpin now. Sadistic King is in the pit lane. Robin has invalidated it. Marcel also has invalidated it. So quite a few invalidations on this lap then as the drivers try to explore the track even more. So the drivers have a set lap time is Scenario, Robin and Robbie. Robbie's on his out lap, Robin should be on a lap, and Scenario's on his out lap, so we'll keep an eye on them as Robin has invalidated it, so he has to go for another lap time again and see if he can improve on that position. Wild Dog 1.1 seconds up in that middle sector, so this is definitely going to be a hell of an improvement from him. And it's P6 from Wild Dog, so 1.4 seconds found in that middle sector there. Good job from Wild Dog. 3 laps on those intermediate tyres. As AIDS has got up into 7th place there, just ahead of Ludo Ascari. Ludo Ascari crossed the same time as crossed the line at the same time with AIDS. Hopefully they didn't compromise each other there. Smalley then coming around the final 2 corners. Let's see what lap time he could set. He's currently down in P9 in the danger zone, so got to find an improvement of a time. It might be pole. Oh yes, it is. 37.4. That's a good lap time. He found a lot of time as he starts to get his confidence up in these intermediate conditions there. Ecos Cameron coming to the middle sector, 4/10 up, so he could snatch away the provisional pole from Smalley if he could find more time in that last sector as he makes his way now towards the final 2 corners. Oh, sliding there as he goes back in the pit lane. Oh, for 1 second I thought he hit the wall. He's constantly lost, couldn't break traction coming out the final corner there. What's Wild Dog doing? Is he in another lap time? No, he's not. He backed out of it. Scenario hasn't set a lap time yet. Neither has Robin and neither has Robbie. So where's Robbie? He's invalidated his lap time. And Scenario's coming through the second part of Spoon. So he needs to set a lap time to get himself inside the top 10. And Cameron Dowles is on an out lap, so is Ecos Shifter, so both Williams there coming out of the garage because they know there's a lot more time to be found and they don't want to be in the risk of getting knocked out of Q2. As Scenario then makes his way towards the final 2 corners then, takes it very slowly, get back into power very slowly as well. You can see he's not even full throttle yet, now he is. And he makes his way across the line and just in the top 10, pushing Jay Hartnell out. Both Hasses there in P11 and P12, and Marcel is on an out lap. Where is Robbie? Robbie starting another flying lap then. Where is Big Balls? He's in P6 somewhere. He's 7/10 up in this middle sector. This is an improvement from Big Balls, and it is. Up into P4 we go.
Scenario 7 just span on his time lap. So for his sake he can keep it going. Right on the edge of being knocked out at the minute, so he really didn't need that.
No, he doesn't. 5 minutes left to go, so there's plenty more time.
Yeah, I just hope there's enough fuel in the tank for his sake. He'll be cutting it very close even if he brings it back round to go again.
Just slowing down, getting out of people's way. Robbie's under massive pressure here. He has not set a lap time yet, has the McLaren driver, and Robin either. Robin's on his out lap. So those 2 drivers are under big pressure. Remember, I think, do you get 3 or 4 sets of inters in qualifying, Connor?
Like 2?
Oh, 2?
Yeah, I think you get 3 sets for the race.
Ah, I see. Robbie making his way around Spoon now. Desperately needs a lap time on the board to get himself inside that top 10. Cameron Dowles, he goes wide though, has Robbie. Just a lot of understeer in that car. His middle sector though, is it good enough? 20.7, not quite sure what the time should be. He goes wide.
No. Go on, keep your foot in, lad. Oh, what a legend.
How the hell is he not invalidated there? Well,
I think he lost a 10th or 2 going across the grass, but we'll see what it is. Comes across the line. P7. Yeah, I think it would have been up there with Sausage Joe if he hadn't gone wide at 130R. So the yellow flags. I think that's just people getting out of the way.
Sadistic King is on the lap and 2.1 seconds improvement, so hopefully this gets him into the top 10 there. He desperately needs to find a time. I think he's got about 2 more laps left to try and find himself a decent time to put himself in that top 10 shootout. Makes his way across the line now. What's it going to be? P7. He knocks out Scenario. Scenario's in the pit lane.
All of that, I think, from P13 up to P8, maybe even P7. They're not safe. It is so close. All eyes will be on those guys, because the guys below the top 10, they've definitely got time to find. And the guys in the top 10, it's, depends if they want to go out again or not and try and make some kind of an improvement.
1.9 seconds quicker in that middle sector is Marcel. He backs out of it again through 130 on. Not really have the confidence as we're seeing Ecos Cameron has, taking it flat out through that corner.
You on board with the Mercedes, by the way, of Robin? Not set a time yet, he's just gone under the bridge.
I was watching Marcel, but I'll go on board with Robin now. Robbie or Robin?
Robin.
Robin, yeah, he's just behind Robbie on the lap. So Robin, the only driver that has not set a lap time, you can see it's all over the place. So he makes his way through Spoon then 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. If he doesn't find a time, he can go for one more lap, and that one more lap has to be crucial. We've got a few more starters across the line now to either complete or go on another flying lap. Robin, 21.0 in that middle sector there. He goes out wide.
Yeah, only just, I think that was acceptable. Shifter's currently fastest, 137.3. 10th quicker than the McLaren previously.
Here comes Robin across the line then. It's P9, he knocks A's out. The top 10 A's, where is he? He's coming through the middle sector now, the end of the middle sector. He has to improve. Cameron's gone quickest, Ecos Cameron. 9/10 A's is found into the middle sector. This should definitely put himself into the top 10. All he needs to do now is not muck it all up in these final two corners. All that time gained, can't afford to lose it now. Navigates the final two corners safely, and he should be safe with this time inside the top 10. Yes, he is, P6.
Luna Ascari was a little bit of a shaky final sector. I think if he hadn't messed up at 130R, he lifted off heavily just to keep the AlphaTauri on the circuit. The P6 unless in Q2 might just be enough for him.
Rob B is in massive danger there in P10. We've got Marcel about to cross the line. This could put himself into the top 10, and it is P9. He has knocked Robbie out. Robin in the Mercedes, 2/10 down in that first sector, needs to find a time. Wild Dog in the middle sector has gone 4/10 quicker. Is that 4/10 going to be enough though to get himself? He needs to find like 2 more tenths in that final sector. Lost a bit of rhythm in those final two corners there, so cost himself a bit of time. But as he makes his way across the line, it's P11.
P11.
Scenario there. He's in the first sector, so keep an eye on him. He might be one of the last drivers to cross the line. Wild Dog. Has he gone for another lap? Yeah, he has. There's plenty of time left. Is there plenty of time? I can't really see with these yellow flags.
I think the timer has only just run out. Even though it's very close. I don't think anyone will be able to start another flying lap.
So Ecos Cameron has the quickest time as he heads off into the pit lane then. Mercedes has just crossed the line. That was Robin in P13 there. Yep, the timer has counted down to 0, and this is the last chance for those drivers down in the bottom zone, such as Wild Dog. Oh, he spins, he spun, and he's into the wall he goes. And how on earth he's not lost the wheel there, I don't know. But he'll be frustrated because he did improve in the first sector. But he did a Danny Kvyat in 2015, but on the other side of the track.
I'm heading back down with scenario 7. The Red Bull in front, I think that's AIDS, has invalidated, but he is safe.
Misses the penultimate corner there, compromises entry, and he compromises the exit. Yep.
You should just stay choosing the middle line. You need to kind of be as close as you can to the pit wall, and it wasn't enough. P14.
He improved on his lap time, but it wasn't enough to get himself into Q3. So there it is then. Wild Dog will be kicking himself after that because he did improve in the first sector.
Marcel has invalidated. I think the only person who could improve is Robin. He's still on a lap.
Hello, Drew, mate. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Marcel in the pit lane. That's it then. Oh, Robin.
I'm seeing a lot of purple sector 2s, but they're not being converted into purple sector 3s because they keep struggling at 130R. Robin spins. That's it. That's the lap gone.
That's it for Robin. He did improve. Sadly for him, he spun it at the last corner.
Well, what did he need really? 2 temps? He would have found that if he nailed the final sector.
So difficult though when the pressure's on you and you know it's your last lap. All that pressure piling up on you to get inside the top 10.
Well, maybe it's a sign of if they're struggling in the wet, the Mercedes will be a lot better in the dry.
So, at the top it is Cameron, 10th ahead of Eco Shifters. Smalley in P2, the 2 Scotsmen in P3 and P4. Cameron Dow's only waiting for the 1 lap. He's 9/10 behind. Will he find that time in Q3? Big Balls in P5. Luna Ascari in P6 in the AlphaTauri, AIDS in P7, Sausage Joe in P8, Marcel P9, and Sadistic King inside the top 10. Wild Dog, sadly for him, he couldn't make it in time, but might have done it if he didn't make the mistake Robbie in P12 in the McLaren, Robin in P13, Scenario in P14, and Jay Hartnell in P15. So just waiting for the timer to run out, and then it'll be the top 10 shootout. Who will get pole position? Who do you think it could be, Connor?
Any of the Ecos guys, Cameron Dowds. I think it's Smalley in the McLaren. He seems to get in very good pace, especially in these conditions. He's doing a lot better in the wet than he was doing in Q1.
Robin's got to do some extra practice while he's out of Q2. I'd assume so, but now the drivers have a bit of experience in Q2. They should know how to handle these conditions now, or get a handle of these conditions, know where the limits are and how much throttle they can take and how much later they can brake as well. So let's see then what they can do in Q3. Cameron only did the one lap, so he hasn't got much experience as say other drivers have. As we've got a few cars heading out of the pit lane then. So the first guy out there is a Haas driver of Marcel. It looks like I think the rain's got more heavier. Do you think, Connor?
Yeah, well, it's clearly still into conditions. It's just a bit more suited for the into conditions. I mean, I think what they had in Q2 would say it was a bit more of a drizzle. This is more or less light rain. And already I'm seeing Smalley, he's really struggling. He's constantly fighting the back end for the S's. And there's puddles forming on the track as well, so might need to be a bit careful on avoiding them. Believe it or not, like, even if you hit a puddle in this game, it can still spin the car.
Indeed.
As well as the slight small risk of aquaplaning, but I think they won't have to worry, because if it happens, it ain't going to be that far until they go off the track and they hit something. You've seen Smalley, he's got really good car control in that McLaren. He's just ragging it around and the back end's going all over the place. I didn't know McLaren did anything with rallycross, but no, I'm quite confident with Smalley if he can keep control of that car and he's still maintaining the pace in the McLaren.
Remember, he's on 0 ERS, so once he powers that ERS up, he can have more torque in those rear tyres.
Yeah. I'm a bit nervous for him now, but being a McLaren fan, I do wish him all the best.
Yep, the only McLaren in Q3, as we've got Marcel started a flying lap then, so let's see where it takes. If they struggle in Q1 as the Red Bull gets nicely out of the way, if they struggle in Q1, they're definitely going to struggle, Q2, sorry, they're definitely going to struggle in Q3. Look at that, nice, well, a little bit...
It's pretty much perfect turn one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but
good turn one and turn two.
This is where it's really going to count. Also, how much do you choose to attack the curves? I don't think they'd be touching them at all in this session.
I won't touch them in the dry, neither do the wet. Goes a bit wide through there. Coming through Dunlop.
Lot of understeer, that's invalidated.
Well, it's quite funny how there's not even much you can invalidate through Dunlop, but they don't even invalidate the exit of 130R. I'm not quite sure how that logic works there.
It's if you stay off the track for long enough that because you're driving further, you're costing yourself time.
Offense the barriers.
I was able to do it around another track. I think it was Hungary. It's like coming out of the exit of the S's. If you just keep your car off the track, you don't really gain time, but you can still keep the time valid.
It's one way to avoid a warning, but whilst you were talking, Age did a wild dog, went off the track and hit the wall. Thankfully, he didn't lose a wheel, because the impact he had through there definitely would have lost a wheel or demolished his front end of the car in real life, but thankfully he didn't. So Aids, with a broken front wing, has to get out of the way of Ecos Cameron, because Ecos Cameron is approaching with speed, and thankfully just gets out of the way before Cameron makes the corner. So might have distracted Cameron visually and psychology, but managed to get out of the way just in time.
On board with Shifters, though, would be the first car to set a time in the session. 37.1. Very reserved, I think that time would be.
Might see slower tyres as the Big Balls got second place. Might see slower tyres now. The track's more wetter, more tricky as well. Cameron Dow's flat out through 130R then, as he's very confident. And look at that, Cameron in second place, just 300 slower than Ecos Shifters there.
Yeah, the Ecos guys might as well be the same person at this point, having reasonable pace, and even Cameron Dowd's only just beaten them. I know it's by a tenth, but clearly it's enough.
Shifters and Cameron did more laps in Q2, so that lap time from Cameron Downs in P1, fantastic lap time there.
What's worrying me about Cameron is that was his banker lap.
Yep. Sausage Joe goes out wide though, but does the trick of staying off the track long enough to not invalidate. Coming around the final 2 corners now is Joe, using a lot of curb in the last part of the corner. Gets on the curb at the exit.
I think if they have the ride height high enough, they can probably attack the curbs a little bit, especially that final chicane. You can gain so much time if you nail the curbs.
Marcel, one of the first drivers out there, has invalidated yet again, so I think he's lost a part of his footwork the way he's turning in. No, he hasn't. It looks like he had.
Might have clipped it on someone though.
Yeah. What is he coming together?
I think he's just running a bit. His front suspension's either too stiff or there's not enough downforce on the front end. I mean, I know Japan, it's not the easiest track to overtake, but at the same time the DRS zones are hardly effective.
Ecos Cameron has evaluated on his second run. Smalley's going to come across the line now, but it's not going to be a well, his representative. He's going to go for it again, so push, cool down push for him. Who else out there? We've got Sadistic King and AIDS on a Torres. Sorry, I should say his proper name actually. Torres on an outlap. Torres, remember, went off at the hairpin, lost his end plate. Hopefully, he doesn't do that again. That was on his outlap, interestingly. So, wonder why he was pushing so hard on his outlap. Just probably trying to find the limits there, but just felt it way too much out there. Hopefully, this time he doesn't go on the curb there. Well, he does, but he doesn't go off into the barriers. So Sadistic King on a lap time. Then one of the 3 drivers who have a set lap time as it makes his way through the first corner. You can see downshifting to 4th gear, back up to 5th gear we go on exit. Let's see how he navigates his way through the S section. Will he find it difficult? Looks like he's it's okay sticking with him. Downforce is crucial through here, especially with running through the dry setup there. Gonna need all the downforce you need through there. Good exit from Sadistic King. Just keeps on the line. No obvious mistakes from what I can see. 36.1 in that first sector. Coming through the second deck there, this will be a bit difficult at the exit with that curve there. If you're running no traction, of course, it'll be very difficult. As we make our way through the hairpin. Obviously, this is the one you need to brake traction as well. Get back in the power as early as you can. And brake traction. Short shifting will help as well to reduce that wheel spin. Coming on this stretch here, should be flat out through here. And next one, Ecos. Smalley's got up into 3rd place. It's a 37.1. 3 drivers on a 37.1. Good lap time for Smalley there. 3 laps on those intermediates.
It's not even like it's a tenth separating them, it's less than half a tenth.
Somebody else has just moved up a place. I think that was Big Balls who's just got up into 5th place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even then, he's a tenth off Ecos Cameron. So close between the top 5.
King makes his way around the final 2 corners. He had a mistake coming into 130R, had to lift off there. Oh. Heart in mouth moment from there from Sadistic King. It's a 39.0, so made
I think I would just, if I was him, I'd just take the time being on the board.
Yep.
On board with AIDS, head and spoon.
Torres has a set lap time.
No, not already. He's riding the curbs quite well. That Red Bull's got pretty good suspension. Seems really smooth.
Makes his way down at the second sector there. I think Sadistic Kid did a 20.2 in that middle sector. Torres does a 20.3, so just a 10 shy of Sadistic King, but he'll find more time in this last sector because obviously King made mistakes. Doesn't really ride that final 2 corners as he would have wanted to gain most of the time back. Makes his way across the line now. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 39.0, just a few hundreds quicker than Sadistic King in P9. Right, where are the main guys? Ecos Shifters in the second corner. Smalley's in the pit lane, and Cameron Dowles is on his outlap. Ecos Cameron has invalidated through turn 2, so it's very important for Ecos Cameron to get Ecos Cameron to get pole position, because with that 5 place grid penalty hover over them, there's a lot of cars that first set, so hopefully they did trip over each other. As you can see the full map, there's Torres in the gravel. Hopefully nothing happened there. I did see about 4 cars in that first sector go with each other. Right,
I think it was someone just trying to move out of the way and they've overcorrected.
Well, back on board with Shifters then, as he exits the hairpin. Nice exit there from Shifters. As you can see then, keep it as tight as you can to minimise the distance. Flick it in the dry as you would do here, but obviously in the wet, you can be very careful through spoon. Back on the power we go then. Make our way down onto this long stretch here. Let's see what his middle sector is. Is this an improvement for Shifters? Can he get himself back on pole position? It's 3/10. If he keeps this up, if he doesn't invalidate, make mistakes, he'll snatch back pole position. And he's got one more lap to do it as well.
He lifted quite a bit going through 130R though.
Let's see if that's
anywhere near as much as the track as he could have done.
It's
Might
a
be
30.
enough, and it is. Oh, 36.7.
Cameron Dowles has found 2/10 of that first set. He's on a flyer through the first set already. Just got to keep it nice and clear. Where's Ecos Cameron Dowles? Ecos Cameron.
He
Sorry.
started another lap.
He invalidated that last lap, so he's got one more attempt at it. Red Bull across the line next. I think he's going to go with the pit lane. We've got an LP across the line. Is that big balls in P5? Yes, it is, but he's 1.2 seconds down. He's running out of fuel, so that's it for him. Sausage Joe. Where is he? Through the first sector, so keep on board with Cameron Dowles there because I think he's the next guy to cross the line. 2/10 of that first sector. Can he find more time? Ecos Cameron though, on the other hand, on the back foot here, he'll start 9th place if he can't improve. And Cameron Dowles, what's he going to be through that middle sector there? 2/10. That's not enough though. He needs to find one and a bit more tenths to claim pole position away from Shifters.
See these taken perfectly. That's a good amount of curve, and that's very acceptable. See how close can keep it to the pit wall. It's close enough, but is it enough?
Ooh.
Indeed it is.
Cameron Dowles has found the right amount of time in that last sector.
Yeah,
pulled it all together.
He's nailed that final sector. I think that is pole, regardless of whoever can try and improve.
Ecos Cameron is improving in the first sector though, but is it going to be enough as he short shifts his way out the second part of spoon to get a really good exit? So that's a good exit there from Cameron. What's his middle sector going to be? 4/10. This could be pole position if he finds more time, or the front row. Crucially for him.
It's going to be close though. I think he'll jump his teammate. It might be half a tenth, let's say, between him and Cameron Dowdes, but yeah, we'll see. Keep
it clean, Cameron. Come on. As he makes his way now to the final corner. Is this going to be pole? Yes, it is. It's a 36.5. He found a lot of time in that final sector by 2/10. What a fantastic lap time for Cameron, but sadly, it won't be pole. It'll be P6. But good attempts from Cameron there. Wow, that final sector was absolutely spot on there. He found the time he needed in that final sector, and he claimed that pole position. So good effort there from Cameron. But it'll be Cameron Dowdes who will take pole position, and Shifters will be second place. Cameron will start P6.
Smalley's still on the lap in P4.
What can he do? He's in the hairpin then, so he's on 3-lap old intermediate tyres. Where's Ludo Ascari? Ludo Ascari's 2/10 up. I'm going to keep on board with him. In fact, Smalley's just behind him.
Yeah, I think Luna will definitely improve, but I don't see it being any more than a top 5. It's definitely not going to be now.
Oh, keep out of the way, Smalley, please. Yes, he does.
Change of underwear down at AlphaTauri, I think.
Well, AlphaTauri's on pole, but he won't keep it. Can Smalley ruin Cameron's afternoon there? Or evening and take away pole position? 2/10 up.
I think he can get I don't know, I think the only person he could really challenge with that sort of improvement would be Shifters.
Oh, let's see what it is then as he makes his way towards the line. It's P4. Oh, look at that.
It's 1,000th off, isn't it?
It's like a Q2 we had with Cameron and Cameron. What? So close between those two.
I think definitely in terms of race pace, it's going to be an incredibly close top 5. And yeah, it's unfortunate for Ecos Cameron. He definitely didn't deserve that 5-place penalty, and I hope the stewards have taken note of that. But it's not going to do Cameron any favours because he's earned that position. Can't keep it. Now he's got to fight back through the traffic.
A lot of hard work for Cameron, Ecos Cameron, to try and get something good for the race. Maybe a win, maybe second place. But knowing he's got the pace, he's going to have to try and find a way to get past his main rivals. So that's pole position then. What a good ending to pole position. So Ecos Cameron on pole position will drop down 5 places. Cameron Dowds in P2 ahead of Shifters. Smalley in P4 ahead of Big Balls in P5. Sausage Joe in P6 ahead of Luna Ascari. Torrades in P8 ahead of Sadistic King, and Marcel in P10 in the Haas there. So the gap between the top 4 is 4 tenths. 2 tenths, sorry.
Yeah, I think in terms of the fight for the win, definitely will be between the top 3, but I still think the top 5, or you might not even know, someone in who got knocked out Q1, Q2 might have left a lot more time on the table. And I think safety cars are difficult to bring out here, but I think they are quite sensitive depending on, even though there's a lot of runoff, Japan likes to throw them out for the sake of it. If not that, I think we'll definitely be seeing a lot of VSCs and spins and wings being left on the circuit.
Sunny race, thankfully, for the drivers. Beautiful, much better than Q1 as the clouds were gathering in.
I think a lot of them are going to be breathing a sigh of relief for that. If it's alright with you, mate, I just need to go for a quick toilet break and I'll join you back in a sec.
Yeah, mate, no worries. Can call that a good qualifying session, Q1 and Q3 there. It's been a while since I commentated a full qualifying session, but managed to prepare for it. Just waiting for the drivers now to ready up, and we can get going for a 30... how many laps are there? Is it 36? No, it's not. It's 27. No, 29. Let's see. I think it's a 29 lap race. 28. It's 27, 28 or 29 for sure. Could be definitely one of those numbers. ...27 lap race then ahead of us. Formation lap is on. We'll have a look at the tyres, see what people have gone for. As you can see the Alpine in the background there. So Cameron Dowds, it's at Williams 1-2 by the way. Cameron Dowds, Shifters and Smalls on the mediums. Big Balls on the soft compound tyres. Now Luna Ascari has been disqualified. She's on the medium compound tyres. So being disqualified early on in this formation lap, that means she'll have cold tyres. That means she won't have the grip she wants through turn 1 and turn 2. Meaning, somebody in the background has just spun there, which is Marcel, on those medium compound tyres. So they'll be cold, but hopefully he can get back on the track before he disqualifies himself. Not the only driver I've seen do that before. No names mentioned. Right, so back on board then. Torrades on the soft compound tyres. Sadistic King, medium for Marcel. Wild Dog, soft compound tyres. Robbie, soft. Robin, medium. Scenario 7 on the soft compound tyres. Jay Hartnell on the mediums. And William Gaming on the soft compound tyres.
Surprised no one's gambled on the hards, to be fair.
To be honest with you, I don't really think the hards... Yeah,
I know they're a bit of a... what's the word? Not a very good race tyre. You'd be losing a lot of pace, but they can go easily 22 laps around here.
Maybe all of the race. They're that durable.
Yeah, they're a very durable tyre, but probably not really beneficial unless if there's like 2 safety cars, let's say.
So Luna Ascari then, I'm not quite sure why she's been disqualified. I didn't really see it at the start, but she's on the medium compound tyres. Therefore they'll be cold, and she got disqualified at the very start of the formation lap, so they'll be very, very cold and has to wait for all 15 drivers to make their way to the finish line and line up on the grid. As William Gaming has left the session, hopefully he could join back and take his car. Hopefully he's got a spare invite as well. The cold tyres for Luna Ascari could be very difficult for her. She's got soft runners around her. Torrades, Marcel, Wild Dog and Robbie. Those cold medium tyres, it could be a massive struggle in turn 1 and turn 2. I think she's going to carry a lot of understeer through there. She'll be careful.
I'm going to keep eyes on the front now, watch if anything happens at the back.
Luna Ascari said, Torrades ran into me. That's not good of him, for some reason. Alright then, so all the drivers are lined up on the grid, and we're just waiting for the lights to go out. There they are. We are underway for round 13 of the Japanese Grand Prix. Looks like Cameron's got a good start, so is Shifters. Look at Sausages all over the back. as they make contact before the first corner, but thankfully there's an AlphaTauri off in the background. Is that Luna Ascari? Yes, it is.
That's Luna. She was squeezed out, pushed to the outside, going into turn 1.
Look at Smalley, he's all over the back of Shifters as Shifters struggling to the S section. We've got a spinner, that's Sausage Joe, who's off into the gravel. He was fighting with Ecos Cameron in P4 for P6 on the soft compound tyres. So Cameron has opted to go for the fastest tyres at this stage of the race. He's already made up 2 places. Marcel in P6 on the medium compound tyres. Big balls in P5 as Cameron's lagging out. Hopefully he can join back the session. He can have internet connection issues, is Ecos Cameron. But Cameron Dowds took the lead to the start of the race. Shifters in P2, Smalley in P3. Big Balls has got past Cameron as Cameron's going to drop down the field now due to being out of the session. Hopefully he can join back as quickly as he can before he drops down a load of positions there, which he doesn't want in this race. So Robin all over the back of Sadistic King. They make their way through Spoon. They're going side by side now.
So going to go for a move. 10 out of 10 for effort.
It must be said, but heavy fuel at the start of the race, medium compound tyres, not going to really work out if you try and go around the outside of there. But good move there from Robin to try and get past Sadistic King early in this race. Robbie has got past Cameron down, Ecos Cameron, as Ecos Cameron has joined back. Hopefully he'll just lose that 1 position or 2 now from Sadistic King.
He's going to end up losing 3 at this rate, because it's one thing like when they join the session, they join through the lobby. It will take them another few seconds almost to get into the game and then take control of the car. I expect him to be in control of that car by the S's, so he's really going to lose out.
Indeed, and Smalley's doing a good job to keep all over the back of Shifters. Looks like Smalley's got more confidence going through the S's and carrying more speed than Shifters. Yellow flags. Jay Hart now.
Yeah, he just kind of span on his own going through turn 2. Probably a bit too much power.
He's in the car right now. Ecos Cameron has rejoined behind Luna Ascari. And Luna Ascari has got an X next to her name as we've got a spinner. Who is that? That is Wild Dog.
Yep.
The lobby glitched out for a second there. But Wild Dog then spun through Dunlop and he's rejoined in P15 on an overheated set of tyres. So Michael wants to pit lane to change those because he don't want to continue. They will cool down, but hopefully he hasn't ruined those set of tyres. And look at that, they're all lagging all over the places, the midfields. Luna Ascari, Ecos Cameron, Sadistic King has dropped down into P14 or P13. I think he's got front wing damage. Yes, he has. He's made contact with somebody there, as somebody's in the wall. And that is Luna Ascari again. Luna Ascari, not the first time she's gone off the... No, it's not, it's lag. Apologies about that. She hasn't gone off the track. And look at that. Torres has got past Marcel for P5. The graphics are gone. And Robbie is going to try and go around the outside on those soft compound tyres. Has he got the grip? No, he hasn't, because he went on the grass there, so he definitely lose the momentum he had trying to get past him around the outside. As we move on to lap 3, DRS is enabled.
The back of the pack, Jay Hartwell trying to fight with Wild Dog through Spoon, ended up very bad for the Haas. Span in the middle of Spoon. He's now got even more work to do as Aids drifting going through turn 2. Luckily, the camber of the corner sort of benefits drifting almost, so not too much time lost there from the Red Bull, but I can't imagine having tyres hotter than the surface of the sun is going to do him any favours through this next sequence of corners.
Lost him 2 positions as well. Crucially, Marcel's on the medium compound tyre. Marcel almost lost it coming out of Dunlop, but thankfully saved it. Yeah, but it won't do any favours losing 2 positions. Marcel on the medium compound tyres, of course, as Sausage Joe has picked up a 3-second tyre penalty. Who else is out there? Luna Ascari lagging all over the place. Hopefully she can try and get a stable internet connection. But out in front, it's Cameron Dowds, Shifters, and Smalley, who's keeping it to the rears of Shifters. Looks like he's more confident at this stage of the race than Shifters is. They're all on the same tyres, the top 3, so it's just down to skill now. Shifters saved up a lot of ERS though behind Cameron. Both Williams can work together, of course, trying keeping each other's DRS, as Sausage Joe and Luna are having a scrap for P11. I think she's got past him now. Yep, she's up into P11, and Robbie is right behind Marcel. And Robin has got past Torres. Oh, scenario 7, just a bit too optimistic down there. Eco Shifters does not get past Cameron Downs on this occasion, but here comes Robbie getting past the Haas driver of Marcel up into P5. He goes, crucial for his race not to be stuck behind the medium runner. Here comes Ecos Cameron and Torres going side by side into turn 1, and Cameron takes the position away from Torres. A good move from Cameron up into P8. And look at that, Smalley's got past Shift. They go side by side into Dunlop. Here they go. He gets squeezed, but the nature of the corner, of course, going to squeeze it because there's not enough room through there. Smalley, what a fantastic move. You don't see cars at all overtaken into Dunlop there. Shifters must have made a mistake because I mentioned he was struggling through those corners before. And Cameron has got past Robin up into P7 he goes. So Cameron making moves then already in this race. Back up into P7 he goes. Yeah, what a move from Smalley to get himself up into P2. Crucially, break the Williams 1-2. Now he's in the slipstream of Cameron Dowd. He needs to stay in this slipstream as well of Cameron Dowd's DRS, so Shifters doesn't launch an attack back on him. As you can see, Smalley using the extra ERS there to try and close in on Cameron, stay within his DRS and keep ahead of Shifters as well, because they're all so close to the top three. Marcel in P6, he's looking to fight back Robbie for P5. Smalley struggling at those final two corners. He's got Shifters all over the back of him, but the thing is though, Smalley will have DRS and Smalley sets the fastest lap. As you can see, there's Shifters goes onto the grass there. He's not giving up, is he? Wow, look at those two.
Oh, now I think you should have known better.
Smalley almost lost it coming out of turn 2 then heading to turn 3, but yeah, that was a bit of an odd one there on the straight as Robbie spun through turn 2. He's rejoined up into 8th place. Not the first driver we've seen to make a mistake through turn 1 and turn 2. Obviously the tyres are overheated at this stage, so Torrade and Sausage will be all over the back of him and have better speed. As Torrade, will he actually go for it? Yes, he will. He overtakes Robbie. Robbie's now left in the clutches. He's gone wide. Torrade hits the wall and lost his front wing. That could be a virtual safety car with the debut of the track. Will it be? I'm not quite sure. No, it won't. So Torres there got on the grass and lit up his rear tyres and off he went into the barriers. However, Ecos Cameron is right behind Marcel for P5, gets a much better exit as well, using the ERS to try and get past him. As we make our way to speed, will he try and set one up the inside? No, he's too far back to do that. Has to wait patiently for the next stretch to come. As Smalley's reducing that gap to Cameron Dowds. And here comes Cameron on Marcel. He has got past up into P5 he goes. But obviously Marcel, if he stays within DRS range, he should get... Oh, Cameron cuts the corner there and he almost lost the rear. He turned it a bit too early. And Marcel will have the DRS on the back of Ecos Cameron. However, Cameron breaking out the slipstream as Cameron picks up a 3-second time penalty already in this race. And look at that, here comes Robin. He has got past. Obviously they're both using the ERS, so they've got massive overspeed on Cameron, but turn 1 comes up pretty quickly, so he won't make a move on him. But Robin is now up into P6 ahead of Marcel. Robbie trying to fight Sausage Joe for P8 after making that mistake early on in the race. And Luna, she's right behind them, up into P10 despite losing the car at turn 1. And pitted already is Torrades. Changing his front wing and he's retired in the pit lane, so that's his race done and dusted. Lap 6 out of 27, then Smalley is right behind Cameron Dowds. And Cameron Dowds has more ERS compared to him, so I think what Smalley should do here is try and stay behind Cameron Dowds for a few laps. They drop his shifters, but stay behind Cameron for a few laps. Save up that ERS to try and overtake him, because it looks like Smalley's got the pace, much better pace compared to the Cameron Dowds and shifters. Big Ball's dropping back by 3.5, so it's just a battle for the top 3 then. What's Smalley going to do? Is he going to try and save up the ERS, or is he going to try and overtake Cameron as early as he can? Making our way to the final 2 corners now. Smalley right behind him, and also shifters will also have DRS behind Smalley. Yep, Smalley not really using any ERS down his straight, but we've got a spinner down there, and that's been cleared up rather quickly. That might have been Sadistic King having debris on his tyres. Marcel, he's behind Robin. Will he try and fight it back for P6? Nope, he's too far behind. What about Luna? She's in P10. Robbie has run out of ERS, by the way. He's got no ERS whatsoever, so he's vulnerable on the straight. And Sausage Joe has lost it through turn 1. Will that open up the door for Robbie to go through? Oh, he made contact there. I think Robbie should have known that Sausage Joe was going to come back on the track anyway. But yeah, he's just slammed the door right in his face. And somebody's spun, and that's Marcel. He's spun to the S's. And he's dropped 3 positions behind Luna, Sausage and Robbie. Sausage has picked up a 3-second time penalty. being the dirty A, struggling behind Robbie. Go back on board with the top 3 because that's where the closest action is so far. As you can see, Smalley's trying to save up that ERS because he didn't use any on the last lap. So he saved a bit more ERS than he has done for the last few laps, but crucially he did get past shifters, so that's why he got less ERS than he would have wanted.
But Cameron's got more than enough to defend with.
Exactly. He can afford to use more ERS on the straight than Smalley. So Smalley's going to try and save up a bit more. As we make our way onto lap 8 out of 27 then. Cameron Dowds is still leading the way after getting a really good start. Shifter's got a good start too, but he got jumped by Smalley a few laps ago. In the S section, Sausage has overtaken Robbie, and that was at the final 2 corners, so that must have been a good move from Sausage there, outbreaking him and claiming P7. Oh, he hit the wall. I'm not surprised he retired there. How did he not lose a wheel? Anyways, Robbie's right behind him, but he's run out of ERS to try and overtake him. As Luna Scaria has joined back, having internet issues on her end. Where's the other one? Robin is in P6, he's 2.6 behind Ecos Cameron, so Ecos Cameron is definitely pulling away and trying to close in on Big Balls. Big Balls, by the way, up into P4. I haven't really talked about him much, but running his own little race in P4, 4.1 behind Ecos Shifters. His tyres, they should be too bad, but obviously with their medium compound tyres there on at the top 3, they should be better than the soft compound tyres at this stage, and hence why they're pulling away from him. He's got Cameron, the other Cameron behind him, so that might be his race for today, just holding off Cameron and the rest behind him. P4 might be his finishing place. The gaps have got away, so...
I was going to say, like, the track limits at the top of Dunlop, they're absolutely ridiculous. The guys are barely gaining any time at all. There's no reason for them to be that sensitive.
Indeed. I know it's a lot of drivers, that's where they get their main penalties from as well, so track limits at Dunlop not doing anybody any favours. You can see Cameron Dowds going all the way to the right to try and break that slipstream from Smalley, but Smalley's not going to the right either. He knows he doesn't really need to do that. As the timing screens start to come back to us then.
Smalley's gaining, he's really gained on that first corner. I think Cameron might have cost himself a bit of time moving that far over, but the good old dirty air of the Williams will keep the McLaren at bay for the sequence of corners until maybe like another long straight where thing is, I know the McLaren, he needs to be deploying his ERS a lot more, but I'm not really seeing it gain, even though he's not really using it much in the first place.
Quite hard around his track to gain back the ERS. Right then, so that's the main battles going on for first, second and third then. Looks like the rest have separated themselves then, so the main focus is now towards the top 3. Robin exceeding track limits to Degda 1, so he could be very careful not to do that. And Robin picks up a 3-second time penalty as we say that, so you've got to be very careful not to try and get any more, because a late safety car could cost crucially to your race if you get one of the top 3. You can see Smalley then using a bit of ERS to try and stay within Cameron. Gap is half a second as somebody's spun, and that is...
Scenario 7. Yeah, he is backwards in the S's.
On the hard compound tyres, so not really getting the grip he was, but Robin has... Oh, Cameron's... Something's happened to Ecos Cam. Lost it through the exit of Spoon there. Has he picked up any front wing damage? It doesn't look like it from our screens, but they made contact, those two. Didn't think he realised he was alongside him. Those soft tyres must be at an end now, so he might have to come back in the pit lane. There's no point staying out on those soft compound tyres anymore.
They'll be fresh soft, so they can still have, they could have gone a little bit more, but definitely not going to be at peak performance after a spin like that.
Yeah, so Ecos Shifters is outside the DRS range of Smalley, so if he just needs to close in a little bit more to stay in contact as well, Dog enters the pits as well to get rid of those soft compound tyres. Wow, 3-second time penalty for him then, so he's outside the 1.2 second range of DRS. That'll release the pressure off Smalley because he knows that Ecos Shifters is outside the 1 second DRS range.
Just go full attack now. Maybe that would have been why Smalley was maybe using a bit more ERS, trying to keep Shifters at bay, but a 3-second to the Williams will give him a little bit more breathing space. Just focus on the other Williams in front of him.
I wonder who will pit first out of Cameron and Shifters, because Cameron's got the obviously the track position, but will shifters try and go for an undercut, I wonder? Not now, obviously, but later in the race.
I reckon if they're on the mediums, an overcut would probably be more preferred.
Smalley is right behind Cameron Doughty. I wonder if he might try and overtake him into turn 1. He's definitely close to him. Now using the ERS.
Oh, he's definitely coming. He's going to try something.
They go side by side, but Smalley backs out of it because he knows, well, in his mind.
Not close enough on that occasion.
Yep. Playing it very smartly is Smalley, trying to put his Cameron Downs as under much pressure as he can, as he's been doing for the past 10 laps. Gives his Smalley better.
I think even you know that just another car being that close is enough to unnerve any driver.
Yep, Sadistic King, I think he's spun through the S's. It is him. Oh, he actually lost his front wing there. Yeah. So he's lost his front wing. You'll have to come back into pit lane and get another one. Hopefully you don't disrupt this race by bringing a safety car out, because this is a really intriguing battle for first and second as Cameron goes a bit deep but just gets a slingshot exit, as you can see there. Yep, Sadistic King definitely struggling out there. Lap 11 out of 27 then. Smalley still putting Cameron Downs under huge pressure. The two Scotsmen going at it. As Shifters is now back in the ERS range. Those two battling has caused Shifters to be in DRS range now, and he can try and stay there. But Smalley doing a really good job though, behind Cameron Downs. Not playing, not really going for any rash moves. Taking his time, buying his time, knowing when to go for the perfect move.
Getting a much better drive out of the chicane.
Oh, here he is.
No DRS. Look at that. That might have been enough. Right,
Smalley.
the outside into on classic, old school, do as you like. That was a ballsy move, but definitely well executed.
For the first time in this race, Smalley will experience clean air as his Cameron's turn to get the dirty air.
Yeah, I think Cameron should have been a bit more aware of his own ERS deployment. Probably didn't even realise how little the McLaren's got. I think he might know now that it's not really, the McLaren isn't exactly pulling away.
It's very easy to stay in DRS range and under that 1 second though. Shifters though in third place looking very interesting. Remember, these two could still get a penalty. It's an easy track to get a penalty at, as Ecos Cameron's up into P9 on a brand new set of mediums as Sausage Joe has entered the pit lane and he's rejoined behind oh, yellow flags, safety car, no, hopefully not.
Sadistic King calling it a day in the pit lane.
Cameron Downs was right behind Smalley before Spoon. Look at that. Will he might try and overtake him here? He's using the ERS though. I wouldn't use it here if I was Cameron, but here he goes then. Will he try and go for it?
No,
in 130R.
Yep.
Instantly he wants it back. But the thing is though, by doing that, it's allowed Smalley the DRS.
Yep. No moves into the chicane.
Oh, that might be a warning there for Smalley.
Oh, a little bit of a tank tapper there from Cameron.
It's a fascinating race between the two Scotsmen in P1 and P2. Shifters right there in P3.
Oh, that's definitely AlphaTauri off. That's Wild Dog. Actually gone off at Dunlop.
The second Alfa Romeo to lose his front wing.
Yeah.
Both Alfa Romeos not really had a good race around here. Both losing their front wings. You see the dirty air, the Smalley's behind them having to correct the car. As Shifters is hovering around that 1 second range of DRS behind Smalley, doing his absolute best to try to stay within that fight. But it's quite clear to me that Smalley and Cameron Downs are much better pace compared to Shifters. Smalley from P3 on the grid up into P2, took the lead, but Cameron Downs instantly claimed it back as yellow flags through there. That is Wild Dog again. Yeah, he's going to go slow due to that loss of front wing. So what lap should we see people pitting on these medium compound tyres then, Connor?
At lap 14, definitely no later than lap 16.
Jay Hartnell has got to pass Sausage Dog for P10 for that one extra point. That confused me a bit because I saw somebody dash into the pit lane when I was above the leaders. That was Wild Dog.
The thing is, the track surface around Suzuka is actually quite smooth. It's just the very aggressive nature of the corners that will degrade the tyres. But the mediums, they're a very, very durable tyre. It'll be the softs where they will start falling away quite quickly. So the longer they...
Oh no!
Oh my god. I was going to say, the longer they stay out on the mediums, the more comfy they're probably going to be. And I think Smalley has proven the fact that these mediums are just about done.
That's a shame there. Thankfully he did.
Is that a Williams gone round?
Looks like it.
Is that Williams?
It's Big Balls, it's Alpine. He's on the soft compound tyres. You can see the blisters on those softs. He needs to get rid of those softs now. Otherwise he's going to lose a lot of positions. So Big Balls there, experienced the loss of grip on those soft compound tyres. Has to come into the pit lane now. It's the end of their tyre life. Obviously with the rain helping them out with tyre wear as well in Q2. But yeah, it's time to pit now for Big Balls, because that has put himself within 3 seconds of Robin. But that mistake hasn't really phased Smalley, because he's still gaining back, but obviously using a lot of EOS to try and claw his way back towards Cameron. So still on the pace despite making that mistake, and that he's got purple in the middle sector as well. So personal best for him. That's giving Cameron a bit more confidence then. Seeing that mistake from Smalley, but he could still do the same thing on those medium compound tyres. Will we see Big Balls entering the pits? He's making his way through 130R now. As he arrives at the final 2 corners. He's the only one on the soft compound tyres. He should switch over to it now, because he's losing time behind Robin. And yes, he's in the pit lane. And he goes on to those medium compound tyres then for the rest of this race. Oh! No! Oh, Smalley has hit the wall. I just flicked on board with him, and he was losing the car, losing, and he just hit the wall. That's a massive shame there.
Yeah, no front wing damage though.
Oh, that's a massive shame.
I'm gutted for him now.
Yeah, I've got it for him too. He did a fantastic job, but in the same place again. This time only worse. He's losing a lot of grip now, so it's time to come to the pits then for a brand new set of those soft compound tyres. But that's a shame, as Marcel's in the gravel.
I'm just double checking everyone's tyres. Top 6 should definitely be pitting very quickly, otherwise the condition they're on, that they will start losing time as if they would have been on the soft tyre. But at the same time, you don't want to be caught out on how quickly the softs degrade. But I think the race has ran for long enough now, the softs will make it to the end.
Cameron goes past again to complete another lap on lap 16, so does Shifters, so that both Williams are not decided to come to pit lane.
That's a definite overcut there from both of the Williams drivers. I think it's fair to say, I think they have covered the rest of the grid off, but one of these two's got to go another lap, unless they do plan on... Oh, Ecos Cam.
Where's he retired?
He's been at Spoon.
It's a safety car. Now that has saved Smalley's race.
Yeah, but this is the worst thing for the Williams pair. They're now going to have to...
Double stack,
but also separate enough on the delta. I mean, I think there's enough time for them and the cars behind that Cameron could get in and out without no problems, but Shifters might be bumped back into traffic. Wouldn't be surprised if he ends up coming in about maybe lap 5. And see all the guys pitting. I don't think it's going to affect them too much, if I'm honest, because Robin, currently P3, he's literally 20 odd seconds behind Shifters, and Robin needs to pit at the same time, and Smalley just coming in the box now. He's 12 seconds further back from Robin, so Williams might just get away with this one.
This is a second bite of the cherry for Smalley there. His race has been saved by a safety car. Any front wing damage he had has been replaced in the pit lane.
And at least for his sake, he can start saving that precious battery.
Try and get that second Williams driver like he did in the early part of the race. Yeah, this is a second bite of the cherry for Smalley there. So
not ideal, because even though like Shifters has that penalty, you know he's just not going to give up the position.
How hard is he willing to fight to try and keep Smalley behind him? So into the pits comes Cameron's down. Shifters has left about a 7.5 second gap behind Cameron. You don't want to be double stacked, but you don't want to like stay behind too long just in case.
So I thought Robin stayed out. I just realised he's actually that far back. I think they're going to be okay, and I think that is enough gap. 2, 3, only really 2, 3 seconds lost. And Robin's in the box anyway. Yeah, Williams have nailed that one. Shifters will come out. Yeah, still secured the 1-2. Might not be a 1-2 at the end of the race.
Smalley then back up into P3, and he's going to be right behind Cameron and Shifters at the safety car restart. So he's very happy that the safety car has came out. But obviously that mistake, will it be in his mind? Will he get affected by it? Big Balls, oh, Big Balls has just came ahead, and Robin spun in the second corner. He stayed on the curb. Those cold tyres coming out the pit lane. He's got a big enough gap to stay in 5th place ahead of Robbie. Behind him, yep. Big Balls just rejoined ahead of Robin. It was so close when they came out the pit lane, but the thing is for Big Balls that he's got Robin right behind him on a brand new set of softs. When the safety car comes in, he's going to be vulnerable to those guys. He can't catch up to the top 3 because the top 3 are a brand new set of softs, so Big Balls then has to watch out for 5th place then, being on those brand new set of softs, but Robin not doing himself any favours by spinning under that safety car.
Well, we're about 10 laps away from the end, and the softs, they're easily going to make that. So, 2 Williams, no, anyone on fresh softs at this point are free to push them to their heart's content. Yeah, I think Big Balls might be in trouble.
So Cameron on a brand new set of softs, Shifters softs, Smalley soft, Big Balls mediums, Robin softs, Robbie mediums, Luna Scory on the mediums, Marcel on the softs, Jay Hartnell on the softs. They're quite far behind. Jay Hartnell and Scenario, Sausage Joe in P11 on the mediums, Williams Gaming not here, Wild Dog in P13. He might as well go on the soft compound tyres anyway, but he's been lapped, so yeah, it's going to be quite hard for him to claw his way back to the field if he can't overtake those front markers there. Aston Martin safety car around here. Once those guys catch up, we're on the second lap of the safety car now. Once those guys catch up, be sure to see the safety car come in. I think on the next lap, not this one, the next one, lap 19.
Yeah, just I know that they were quite far down, but even now we see Marcel coming back into the pits.
But yeah, Marcel in the pit lane for some reason, P8.
Just double check before he changes those tyres. Those are fresh softs, unless he needs a wing change for any reason.
Nope.
No. Oh, I think he went onto a quali used set, and he's now back on a fresh race set.
His medium, I mean his teammates in the pits as well.
I'm a little bit wary whether, I'm pretty sure the guys like Sausage Joe, William Gimm are going to catch back up. I mean, William Gimm's already there, Scenario 7, Sausage Joe and those guys, but I don't understand how they were that far down in the first place.
I think both Hasses pitted there to just try and get the best performance out of those tyres. When they catch up to their safety car, just keep it as low as possible, their grip.
Oh, see, Robbie and Luna trade places under the safety car.
Smalley's got his way past the...
Oh no, oh no. What's going on with Luna?
It's Wild Dog. Wild Dog is trying to unlap himself. Oh, he almost hits the back of Big Balls there. Wild Dog trying to unlap himself. Hopefully he can. It's lap 18 out of 27. Can they unlap themselves in this game?
Nope. Unfortunately, they got to stay put, and the moment the green flag gets waved, they need to move out of the way immediately, because, well, since ghosting's on, it shouldn't matter too much, and Wild Dog should, already he should be ghosting for the cars around him.
It's still
with Robin.
It's a visual distraction though.
Yeah, visual at least, but I don't know if these guys were on ghosting on or off, but yeah, I just hope for Wild Dog to say that don't make it any worse than it already is. Just have the decency to move out of the way.
Right lads, safety car is in this lap then, so Cameron will judge the restart. I wonder what happens for the next 9 laps or so.
I say just go now, Cam. We've already got like a half a second gap.
Scenarios. not quite sure what's happened there, but Cameron Dow's got a perfect restart. Shifters in second place, Smalley in P3, Big Balls in P4. Anybody overtaken in the early part of the race? Luna's like it all over the place. No, they're not. But Sausage is right behind Scenario. I believe those two made contact. That caused them a 5-second time penalty. Shifters almost lost it again. He looks like he's struggling in the first sector a lot. We saw Smalley get past him early on in this race. But yeah, he's definitely struggling in the first sector, but therefore that's allowing...
Right on board with Smalley, I'm seeing a lot of overcorrecting going on from Shifters.
Shifters wants to overtake that Williams as quick as he can to try and have a second chance of trying to win this race after that mistake he'd made at the first sector a few laps ago. The safety cars brought him back into play. He's got a second shot of trying to win this race, but obviously his first target is to try and get past Shifters. He knows his weakness, he's been stuck behind him about the first 6 laps of this race, so he knows what Shifters kind of can't do in this race. It's the first sector he major struggles.
I don't know if Cameron and Shifters will be communicating his teammates, but I imagine the order to Shifters will be park the bus.
You can see Smalley using that EOS as Shifters. They go side by side now, leave a bit of space, yep. Oh, they get
interlocking wheels going off the track. It's just going to dive it into the chicane. Yeah, well, that's a bit of a dive bomb.
But he had to do it though. Smalley really had to do it.
Yeah, he's doing so. He's really compromised his exit. He's trying to. Oh my god!
Ouch!
Well, I hate to say it, but I don't know. That was very close on both the drivers. Smalley did squeeze Shifters, but Shifters had a choice to back out. He can't defend just by keeping a nose ahead. He wasn't even alongside.
Safety car has been deployed.
Might as well hand Cameron the trophy now, no offence. It's going to be out for probably 2 laps, race again lap 23. I don't really see anyone needing to pit.
So Big Balls then, oh, you saw it, Luna just put somebody in the wall. Robbie's lost part of his front wing. Luna just ran straight into the back of Robbie, like he wasn't there.
I'm pretty sure with this sort of lag and desync on Luna's end that she'll be seeing a very different race to the one everyone else is seeing. Unfortunately, it's not really anyone's fault. I know that these things happen.
Yep. Where's he cost Cameron, by the way? He's retired anti P14. So while that was happening, Big Balls did get overtaken by Robbie and Robin. I think he made a mistake coming out of turn 1, and therefore it allowed Robin to get past. As you can see in the screens there, Robbie ahead of Big Balls, and he might have to come into the pits, Robbie, because of that front wing damage he sustained after that collision with Luna. Looks fine to me at the moment. I thought I saw a bit of carbon fibre come off that car. It's Luna, she's in the pits, so she's out of the way for the time being.
Yeah, might as well. 5-second penalty though. Yeah, just bin those mediums. Use your softs to the end, even if they use softs.
So Cameron Dow's has caught up the second safety car for the second time. That crash happened so quickly, but I'm not quite sure.
Say though, this is really working well for the McLarens now. Didn't expect Robbie to be up this high.
Both Hasses there in the points in P6 and P8. They both pitted under the first safety car to try and get the best performance out of those tyres. So it's a Scotsman's 1-2 between the two. I wonder if Shifters will be complaining in the chat, saying he didn't leave me enough space, and Smalley said, well, your nose was on my rear tyre anyway, you know there's no way you would get past me. But obviously Shifters would have the slipstream on the straight, both using EOS style that straight. Possibly Shifters could re-overtake him back on Smalley. But the damage is done now. What Smalley could just do is fight Cameron down to the end and see what punishment he might get or might not get towards the end of the race. But that's one Williams out of the way at least. Cameron Dow's was wishing that Shifters was right there to defend for Smalley as much as he could, but now he's got Smalley in the back of him again. Not what he would have wanted in this race. None of them got penalties, Cameron or Smalley. Big Balls could find himself on the podium with the penalties that Robin and Robbie have picked up. That's going to confuse the hell out of me in this race. Robin and Robbie. You can see Robin just dropping further back there between Smalley and Cameron. I noticed that a few moments ago. Gotta be careful because Robbie is also like almost at the back of it a few times, so gotta be very careful the way he judges things behind the safety car. But majority of Robbie's in the pits for some reason. 6-lap old mediums, maybe he wants to go on a brand new set of softs, maybe change that front wing. And he is changing the front wing, so into the pits comes Robbie. He picked up a 5-second time penalty as well, so he's getting rid of that and putting in a brand new set of softs. Depending on how many penalties he's got now, he might jump a few cars that has got penalties. So he's only got a 3-second time penalty. Now he's got rid of that 5-second time penalty. So the guys ahead of him, Sausage Joe for 15-second time penalty, definitely get ahead of him. And Luna Ascari, her laggy car is not doing anybody any favours. A 10-second time penalty for Luna Ascari. Jay Hartnell hasn't got a penalty, he could find himself in P4. Big Balls in P4 can find himself on the podium, but bearing in mind he's on the medium compound tyres, he might have... let's see where he finishes, because the guy ahead of him, Robin, is on the soft compound tyres. Might pull away, but has he got enough pace to try and... No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. It's a 9-second time penalty, so it's guaranteed that Big Balls will be on the podium, unless he makes a mistake or anyone else around him will try and battle him. Jay Hartnell on P7 on the soft compound tyres, no penalties to his name. And William Gaming, who hasn't been here throughout the whole race, but in P12 hasn't got any penalties either. I don't expect an AI to pick up a penalty. So hopefully the safety car will come in at the end of this lap so we can get some racing action. Let's see how these last few laps will go down between Cameron and Smalley. Could those two collide? Therefore handing the win to Big Balls with P4. Who knows, but we'll wait. Safety car should come in this lap then. Everybody has caught up.
Yeah, 5-lap shootout to the end.
Yeah, a mad 5-lap to the end of this race. Tyre wear should not be an issue for anybody. Luna Ascari, Sausage Joe, Robbie has pitted onto a brand new set of softs. Remember, Robbie had front wing damage, so he had to change it. And the 5-second time penalty got rid of as well, so benefited him.
I just saw a bit of contact made through Cameron and Smalley going through the chicane.
Off they go. Oh, Smalley's lost traction. He lost traction coming out the final corner. Robbie has made his way up into second place, but Smalley has to re-overtake him as quick as he can now. Due to that mistake he made, Big Balls defending the Robin defending the inside line. Here comes Smalls on the switchback on the Mercedes. Goes side by side.
All switchbacks and he's made it stick. What a move!
He had to make that as quick as he can.
Yeah, it's probably the best accidental overtake I've ever seen by someone.
Had to make that as quick as he can, but look at Robin.
Oh my god.
Big Balls behind him in P4. Yeah, Big Balls behind him in P4. Has he got a penalty?
We do have a victim somewhere at the back.
It's Wild Dog. So Robin, 1.8 seconds already behind the top two, so it looks like it's just a plain battle between the top two now. Big Balls in P4. He's got Marcel, who's just hit the back of him, obviously on the brand new set of softs, just carrying a bit more speed. I'm not expecting Big Balls to carry that amount of speed he carried through there. Luna Ascari defending from Sausage Joe in P9. And here comes Robbie on Jay Hartnell. Into speed we go. Has he made it stick? Yes, he has. Good move there for Robbie. Got himself into P7, and now he's got a scenario ahead of him. But they're all behind Robin for P3. One a big train, of course. Sausage Joe has got past Luna on this straight. Smalls is in, he's 3/10 behind Cameron, so as we go on to lap 24 then, you got no DRS for the time being, you've got to wait an extra lap or two. Well, the next lap DRS will be enabled, but you can see Cameron already goes to the right, but Smalls not falling for that trick. And look at that, here comes Big Balls on Robin, Robin defending the inside line. Will he go deep again? No, he won't. Yes, he does go deep. Opens up the door for Big Balls, but stays ahead for the time being in P3. You can see Marcel and Scenario there waiting in P5 and P6 to just pounce further behind. Jay Hartnell is trying to defend from Luna Ascari. Luna all over the back of Jay Hartnell for P8.
With this midfield fight happening, it's allowing Robbie to catch back up in McLaren.
Yep, he's in P7. Oh, you can see the trap is there to the exit of Degner 1. Picked up a warning for that. Jay Hartnell though hasn't got a penalty, so he might move up into P4. Big Balls will definitely move up to P4 due to that 9-second time penalty from Robin. But he's got to keep it clean himself and try to defend these guys behind him on the soft compound tyres. He's got to be careful not to pick up a warning or a penalty. It should secure him P3. But the guys behind also having penalties. He is right behind Robin though, so we might see an overtake between those two very, very soon. Or might do it now. Here he goes then. Yeah. Pulls out. Oh!
No! You can't do that.
Kevin Magnussen and Charles Leclerc type of style there. Nah, it's way too late. That was way too late. Like Nikita Mazepin on Schumacher in Baku, just way too late there. That's a shame. That is a massive shame.
No, Big Balls deserve that. Imagine a bit more than the 9-second penalty becoming Robin's way over this.
So that could lead Jay Hartnell onto the podium. He's 1.7 seconds back, but Luna Ascari has overtaken him into P7. She goes ahead of Jay Hartnell. Yeah, but Jay Hartnell could still find himself on the podium. What's it? 9 second, 3 second?
It is, well, Luna has a 10-second. Not really sure what that was for though.
Spin in the pit lane, she would have a 5-second time penalty. So, oh, Smalley got a bit out of shape, put out the second Degner, so that allowed Cameron to pull away just a little bit. But DRS is now enabled in these closing stages of the race. Can Cameron hold on to P1, or will it be Smalley who will take the victory, but will be under investigation due to that collision with Ecos Shifters, who's retired from this race?
Marcel's having connection issues. Scenario's just overtaken him.
Up into P4 he goes then, ahead of the Haas driver. Robbie's there in P6. Marcel goes a bit wide in the spoon, allowing Robbie to be all over the back of him.
There's hardly any battery left in any of these cars.
Marcel's got most out of these guys, Scenario and Robbie. Luna's got a lot compared to those guys ahead, probably more than combined, yeah, more than. But look at that then. We'll move on to lap 26, out of 27, Smalley in DRS range. If he doesn't do it this lap, he's going to do it next lap. But will he try it this lap though? I wonder. Coming down the straight, Cameron's just ahead. If he doesn't outbrake himself.
Is he going to open the door? Nope.
Marcel has moved himself back up into P4 ahead of Scenario for P5. Robbie is all over the back of Scenario there. Luna is closing in with the extra ERS she has.
It's probably very frustrating for Robbie because I know that he's going to be able to get Scenario, but what he needs is the track position in front of the Ferrari. And I reckon he really could give Marcel a run for his money for the, well, probably final podium spot. Because
Robin's crashed!
Penalty. Ooh.
Robin's crashed before the first deck there. That's a bit strange place to crash, but I don't know what's happened to him. But
it's actually quite easy. You chuck it into the first deck and sometimes the back end will just depart the car.
Right, lap 26 out of 27 then. Smalley will be desperate to try and win this race. Try and get past Cameron Dowds.
Marcel does have 6 second worth of penalties now.
You can see Smalley using that EOS down this short straight here. If there was DRS here, you would love that, but obviously there's no DRS because 130R is right there. Be smart about it, he won't go for it in these two. He needs to set him up, get a good exit out of these final two corners to Smalley. Has he got that? Use the EOS now, and here we go then. The gap is 3/10 across the line. Is it enough to try and overtake Cameron on this straight? Cameron will try and go defensive.
He's coming. Moves there.
Oh, around the outside.
No, he's off. Cameron's off.
I knew something like that was going to happen, judging by the way they were going in.
Luckily for Cam's sake, there is a big enough gap, but he's not going to be too happy with that.
No, he's not indeed. As Scenario stays ahead of Marcel, Robbie was desperately trying to get past Marcel there, as those two are fighting the first two corners. Jay Hartnell's in P7. We'll find out where he finishes at the end of this race. Might be a podium for him if he doesn't pick up a penalty. We'll find out. But yeah, Smalley had the outside line. He was always going to turn. What do you think about that, Connor?
I think he's just pinched him a bit too hard, and pretty much identical to what happened with Shifters. But just like with Shifters, I don't. I think Cameron maybe he should have yielded. I didn't have a perfect camera angle of it, but
I didn't either, mate.
The fact that he's definitely squeezed both of the Williams today, so I think it might be a little bit of a bittersweet win for him. Of course, he's probably going to say that there comes a point where you back out, you can't defend your position by keeping a nose in. But at the same time, you're supposed to leave a car's width.
Exactly, there's like points on both perspectives there, but anyways, coming through the final two corners, the race will be small. It's starting from P3, he wins the Japanese Grand Prix for round 13, and Cameron Dowds will finish in P2. Sadly for him, he could be very frustrated for that one, leading most of the race.
Will cross the line, but it will be Robbie getting on the podium.
Or will it be Jay Hart now? P4, 9 tenths away.
9 tenths.
Wow. That was an interesting race.
Sausage share with the most pens of the race. Comes home P8. He's going to keep that as well.
Both McLarens on the podium then after Robbie making that early mistake in the race. He's still on the podium. 9 tenths just ahead of Jay Hart. That was very crucial for him not to get in too many battles there. But anyways.
William getting across the line. Just got to wait for Robin to bring the Merc home.
Will he get the fastest lap though? Because he pitted on a brand new. He's gone into AI mode by the looks of it. Yeah, he has.
Who has the fastest lap? Cameron. 130 flat.
Well, that's the end of the Japanese Grand Prix for round 13. It's been a very interesting one to say the least. Both Williams get into an accident there. Wonder how Cameron Dowds will feel. Wonder how Smalley will feel. Like what both of them will say. Okay, you probably say I was ahead of you, and Cameron say you should have left a bit more room than that. But anyways, to Scotsman 1-2, P3 from the grid to P1, Robbie from P12 to P3, Jay Hart now on P4 for P15 scenario, P14 to P5, Marcel P6, Luna Ascari finishing where she started, the American in P7 in the AlphaTauri, Sausage Joe P8 ahead of Robin in P9. And William Gaming, who still scored a point, but I don't think it will count because he did not take part in it at all. Wild Dog in P11 could have scored a podium if he didn't come into contact with, who was it again? I think it was Robin.
Remember,
I think it was Robin. Yeah, that's a shame for Wild Dog. He should have been on the podium, but got taken away from him from no fault of his own. Just going for a normal move. Big Balls in P12. Shifters in P13, Ecos Cameron in P14. We didn't see much of Sadistic King or Torrades in that race. They finished P15 and P16, and that's the end of that race. Cameron Dowds picked up the fastest lap, so we'll get an extra point for that. A British 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice.
So are we doing podium interviews, or am I free to go?
I don't really know much about it. It's this round 13, my first time, so I'm gonna end it. But if we do it next time, then yeah, we'll do podium interviews. So we'll end it here. Thanks for those who tuned in. Cameron's dad will be disappointed, but nevertheless, he's still got P2. Good result for him. And if I do commentate again, I'll see you all next time.